Sales is the most lucrative skill in the world, period. The problem is most sales advice out there today is outdated, cheesy, and could even keep you from the deals that can make all the difference in your career. This is the No BS Sales School, a podcast for entrepreneurs and salespeople who want to master the skill of selling without all the BS. Welcome to the No BS Sales School podcast. I'm your host, Walker McKay. I want to give a shout out today to Ronnie Richardson and the National Land Realty. I went and spoke to those guys at their annual meeting in Chattanooga, Tennessee this past week, and we had a great time. Ronnie is a character. He's the CEO of this group of probably 200 land brokers from around the country. And I got on the phone with him a couple of months ago when he was interviewing me to see if I was good enough to come speak to his people. And nobody warned me about Ronnie, but he's this bigger than life personality. And he gets on the phone. There are 3 or 4 of the people on the phone on his side. And he says, "How you gonna motivate my people to do more?" And I thought to myself, I said, "Well, I'm not." I said to him, I said, I'm not gonna. He said, "What?" I said, "I don't motivate people. So if they're not already motivated, I can't help them." He goes, "Good answer." And he said, "So I hear you're going to help the bottom 20% of my people that can't sell shit." And I said, "Nope, not going to do that either." I said, "I typically work better with the people who are already doing really well. Help them get another 20, 25%. I said, "That's more fun for me. It's more money for you. And everybody makes a whole lot more money that way." And he goes, "I like the way you think." So anyway, he thought then at that point I was good enough to come speak to his people. And we had a great time. And among the things that I talked about to his team was what a lot of real estate folks deal with and what a lot of people and other, people that sell expensive, complicated things deal with is they don't disqualify low chance opportunities. We chase everybody. Right? If somebody fogs a mirror or they say, "Come talk to me about this," or "I'm interested in that," we freaking drop everything and run. Well, what's the problem with that? Well, sometimes the problem is that they're not ready for us yet, right? Or they're just using us for a check price, or they're not sure what they're going to do, and we go chase it anyway. I heard this great expression actually at the conference where somebody said anytime there's we call it a beauty contest, right? Where they bring in several companies and interview them or several people and interview them, we call that a beauty contest, that there's always a favorite and everybody else is a fool. And if you're not sure you're the favorite before the thing starts, chances are you're not. So the faster we figure out and disqualify those situations where we would be the fool for pursuing, the better. So, Walker, what the hell are you talking about? What do you mean favorite and fool? Well, you know what I mean. Anytime there's any kind of RFP or we bring it into interview 3, somebody's got the inside track. They're already the incumbent. They're already working there. They've been talking to the company. They have a relationship inside. They created the template that we're all working from. Somebody is already there, right? And if it's not you, if it wasn't you before, it ain't gonna be you now. Here's what that looks like, right? When they say things like, "Well, you can't talk to our people during this RFP process. No questions, only just respond to what we have." Or you can't get real answers like, "Why are you doing this?" Or "Why are you doing this now?" Or "What are you hoping the outcome would look like?" Or when you ask who else you're talking to and they say, "Well, we don't want to tell you that." Or they say these 5 companies. And you think to yourself, how in the world am I going to stand out among those 5 companies? Because of those 5, one of them is the favorite, right? A couple things you can do. One, be very skeptical that they need your help. And when I say be skeptical, what I mean is, hey, you're talking to 2 other companies. They're both very good. What were you hoping we could do that would make a difference? All right? Hold your cards closer to your vest, right? If you're supposed to go present, you present last. And when I say you present last, spend as much time as you can trying to disqualify the opportunity, meaning find out what their real pain is, not just a problem they're trying to solve, not just what the RFP says. What's the personal compelling reason for making a change at all? Are they trying to switch from the current incumbent, or is the current incumbent still in the dogfight? If the current guy's still in there and they can't share with you a really good reason why they wouldn't not hire him again, he's going to get the business. If he's out of it and they're going to change and they've promised they're going to change, find out what are the things that they want to make sure happen this time that didn't happen last time. And also, what are the things that they like that the first guy was doing? They want to make sure continues to happen with the new provider, with their new partner, or whatever it is that they're hiring, right? You want to make sure you know that stuff. If you want to make real sure that you are the favorite and not the fool, before you give information, you need to charge for it. Say, listen, I appreciate what you've given me, but we're going to need a real scope of work here. Or we need to do a survey or an assessment or a something, whatever this is, we typically charge for this. So we go in and do an assessment, figure exactly what's needed. We'll come back with a customized proposal for you. And here's what we charge for it. And most of y'all that doesn't work. We can't charge people for our proposals. Everybody else gives them away for free. That's exactly why you should charge for it. If what you do has value, if your proposal actually has value to somebody, people will pay for it. Think about it this way, right? You call a plumber and the plumber says, I'll come over to this $100 trip charge. How many more plumbers do you call? 0, right? You hope that guy does the right thing. If you say, look, I'm happy to come over and talk to you about this. We charge a consultation fee of $5,000. How many other people do you think you're going to call? None. Maybe you say, we'll visit. We're happy to come talk with you. But at the end of that, we decide I want you and I to decide whether or not you're going to spend $500, $5,000, $50,000 to have us do an assessment of your situation so we can tell you exactly what it is you need to do next, what the next steps need to be. And you can tell somebody. And if you want to, after you've paid us, if you want to use that to structure your RFP or you want to give that to somebody else, fine. Now, the reality is if they paid you for that, unless you've been a complete jackwad about it, they're going to probably hire you to do the work. Think about those situations that you thought you had the business and you didn't get it. Think about those situations in the past where you thought you had the business and you didn't get it. And now you look back with 20/20 vision. What are the red flags that you missed? Did you not hear them not give you clear answers? Did you miss that when they weren't certain with their answers, when they fudged, or when they said, yeah, we're not really sure, or they couldn't give you an exact timeline, or they couldn't tell you exactly why they had to make a change, yet you went forward anyway? Some of us, our competition is just people doing nothing, right? That our prospects that talk to us about doing something, our competition is really them just saying, hey, I've changed our mind, I'm not going to do that. Among the other ways, you can charge people for an upfront assessment, right? To see if they're really serious. If they won't spend $500, then they're probably not going to spend $5,000. So another way to do this is to remember that your prospect has 2 questions they have to answer before anything's going to happen. Number 1 is, are they committed to do something different or differently? Are they committed to do something different or differently? And if the answer to that first question is no, then they're not going to do anything. So most salespeople go about this backwards. They come in and want to show everybody, hey, we got this great stuff. You should switch to us. You're going to love it, right? Before the prospect is committed to do something different. See, if you spend your time on the front end asking questions to figure out and have the prospect tell you, I must do something, right? Then it's worth your while. Then you can start talking about, okay, well, then here's what we would suggest. But if they haven't told you why they have to change, it's too hard, and they're probably not going to. You have to, in order to minimize and to push back on low chance opportunities, you've got to look out for them. You have to have a high radar for them and know that most people aren't ready to make a change. They need to prove to you that they are. And it is your job and it is your business to figure that out on the front end. I'm Walker McKay with No BS Sales. Stop chasing low chance opportunities that people may not do anything, or even if you're in the mix, you've only got a 1 in 3 shot or 1 in 4 shot. You're not the favorite, you're the fool.
Thanks
Thanks for listening to the No BS Sales School podcast. If you're struggling to close deals, then I want to invite you to take my free mini course, where you'll learn the 7 most expensive sales mistakes that will cost you time, money, and credibility. So be sure to click the link in the show notes or go to www.7salesmistakes.com. That's the number 7salesmistakes.com. Thanks again for listening to the No BS Sales School podcast.